Yeah. Where it's packing up the thing. Okay, yeah. So, hey, how do you feel about, like... Wait, no, that's not a good joke. Nah, I've got nothing. Hey, so Digimon kids nearly die in a river.
Yeah. Also, we don't know how Izumi and Junpei survived the fall, but don't worry about it.
This is the most lighthearted episode of the series somehow.
Yeah.
That Sonic discussion really took Abby. Oh yeah, that went on for like 40 minutes.
It was very important. It's relevant, and it just dropped today.
It's very important to talk about Sonic whenever, like, people mention Sonic.
Yeah, when people aren't talking about Sonic, blah, 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 blah.
Man, have you heard about the effing Sonic Hedgehog gene that was, like, named by, like, biologists because it makes processes go faster?
Yep. And the cell that inhibits it is like Robotnikin or something.
Yeah. It turns out that, like, I forget, it was like a few years back the discovery was made that the Sonic Hedgehog gene is responsible for erectile dysfunction.
That's funny.
Oh, jeez. So yeah, Togemon is a freaking kindergarten teacher.
Yeah.
What a weird pick.
It's elementary school.
Elementary school, yeah. Oh, man. Well, what a weird pick that just kind of works somehow.
I like it. It's weird.
Yeah, like, school teacher Togemon is just so impractical and, like, just, like, one, like, tumble or one wrong move and you're kicking kids in the face with your needles. Like, think there's, like, multiple times where Togemon's, like, pick someone up and they're like, ow, stop, you're pricking me.
Which doesn't make sense. It's Togemon holding Tsunomon by the horn.
With its gloves.
With
and
its
he
gloves.
feels the needles.
Somehow. But there's no needles on Togemon's gloves.
Oh, man. Not that we know of.
I mean, we've seen Togemon's hands. We're looking at them right now.
Yeah, maybe there are needles there. They're just, like, so small you can't see them. They're just really thin and fine.
Well, then you probably wouldn't feel them either, especially if it's connected to, like, a horn.
Oh, man. That's the, like, real crazy parts. That I feels it through the horn, and it's like, oh, alright. Sure.
So yeah, Junpei and Izumi are walking through, like, the savannah or whatever.
Are these two supposed to be becoming a couple?
I don't know.
Is that what the ship is implying here? Like the literal ship they board together at the end?
No.
Where they say, like, nice things about each other, and Zumi's like, yeah, I guess I changed my opinion of you a bit as well, and then Junpei, like, blushes out like a weirdo.
Yeah, well, it's because he likes her.
Yeah. Are they trying to make a literal ship happen?
No, I'm pretty sure it's just Izumi thinks that Junpei is, like, dumb and unreliable, and then he shows off that he actually can be good in in a serious situation, and she's like, oh, maybe you're not all bad after all.
Yeah, of course he's not. He's Junpei. He's the best character on the team.
He's the best and the strongest.
Junpei is the strongest and the fastest.
Yeah.
No, it's like the fastest and the most powerful.
Yeah.
After hearing the quote exactly, but yeah, sorry.
Apparently Izumi can't swim.
Apparently not.
But that's irrelevant for now. Yeah, they're just walking along, and Tsunomon comes crashing out of the fields, and Togemon's looking for him. And it's like, hey, come to the school. We don't see you. Come to our school. We don't see humans. Come teach a lesson or whatever.
Yeah, come tell us about the human world, and they, like, go there and they completely blank on what to talk about.
Yeah, well, Junpei gets picked to do it, and he's like awkward in front of a crowd.
Yeah. Also, like, yeah, Junpei's like, I'm saying this about a lot of stuff, but Junpei really is kind of like warming up on me a lot, honestly.
Yeah, he just kind of starts as kind of a douchey guy, but
He starts as such a prick, and this he just goes on. He just becomes like a lovable loser.
also that boy has a lot of chocolate.
Oh yeah, yeah. Remember when the Pokemon attacked them, and he was like, "Oh no, I'm out of chocolate."
I don't remember him ever saying that.
I feel like I vaguely remember him running out of chocolate in the Pokemon attack, and they just like he just shows up in this episode. He's like, "Oh yeah, you want like kids to be your friends? Let's bribe them with chocolate." I have to wonder how the heck the dub handled that moment. Because I have to imagine they, like, tried to work around that. Because it's such, like, a blatantly bad message.
But they probably just have it go as is because the it doesn't treat it as if it's a good message.
Yeah, everyone immediately calls him out for it, and it's hilarious.
Yeah, it's like you can't do that.
Junpei's like, "Oh, well, you want to make friends, right? Alright, just give them things." And they're like, "No." And all the baby Digimon glare at him. And Somon just, like, glares back at me. He's like, "I don't want to do it like that, you idiot."
Yep.
And it's like, oh, alright. Jeez.
But yeah, Sunamon runs off, and they go to see where he went, and then Sunamon falls in the water, and of course he can't swim because he's a ball.
Should we talk about the soccer game? Where, like, I think, like, doesn't, like, Capurimon, like, gaslight Sunamon or some crap?
What?
Yeah, because they run into him or whatever, and they, like, start crying like it's his fault, and it's like, holy crap, you're a monster.
Yeah,
Literally.
yeah. Yeah, I forgot about that.
Yeah, these are like bad, like friggin' children. Holy crap. And it's like the reason they ham is the dumbest thing too, because they're like, oh, you're different because you evolved early. And like, I see the like, allegories. I know what they're going for. It's like, oh, he's like, he's like a fast grower, so they're picking on the tall kid basically. Or like,
Yeah.
insert whatever, metaphor you want to in there. But it's like friggin' being a rookie is objectively cool though, and he's like actively helpful and stuff, and then there just shits to him for no reason.
Well, the explanation is supposedly because they're scared of him,
Oh man.
which we see a bit of when Izumi tries to like talk to one and like shoots her with ice.
Yeah, I guess. I guess that makes sense.
But yeah, so yeah, that's the big thing is that Sunamon is an outcast because he can evolve. And Izumi like tries to save Sunamon from drowning, and she falls in too. And Junpei, instead of jumping in to help her, like kind of starts to panic. And then you see, oh, right up, calm down. And then you see Izumi just kind of raise out of the water with Gabumon's hands supporting her.
Man. These things aren't even like in training 2 yet. These are still like for the fresh stage, as like
Yeah.
Digimon World puts it.
Yeah. Sunamon is the correct level to turn into Gabumon, though.
Yeah, yeah.
So
he's
he
like
was
a
already,
bit further. He was already further along.
yeah,
Maybe he's just older, man.
I guess so.
Maybe, like, so here's the question, and it's something I've been wondering all episode. Where the heck did Togemon get these kids?
Just maybe it picks them up from like the primary village.
Does that exist in this world? Like,
Yes.
does it? I don't know, it's like, did other Digimon drop the eggs off here? Like, were they
No,
kidnapped? Like, how does this work?
they would come here after hatching.
I'd have to assume the primary village is pretty close then, huh?
It might be. Heck, who knows? Maybe that's in the next episode.
Maybe it is.
Okay,
I
I
know, I
mean,
saw the next episode preview. It was something about Chalkmon turning evil and actually being a threat, which seems interesting.
oh, okay.
And it's like, oh, alright, I wonder what this is about. I'm like excited to see Chalkmon actually do things.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's like, I feel like a lot of these like in training forms I'm like used to, and there's just like the Guilmon and Impmon ones. And it's like, oh, those are new.
Yeah. I mean,
Those aren't.
You see him at the end of Tamers.
Yeah, but it's like those aren't usually in groups of in training Digimon.
And now they are.
Yeah, those aren't generic enough for it.
Yeah.
Well, I guess generic's like, a hard, like, it's very objective, but still subjective, I mean, yeah.
Yeah, because these baby Digimon, the Guilmon and Impmon ones, could turn into other stuff.
Yeah. Presumably.
Well, by the metric of like every other Digimon media, they can.
Yeah. It just feels weird because it's like, you see Nyaromon, and it's like, alright, it's just a little cat. It can turn into, like, whatever, like, any, like, beast Digimon would make sense. And you look at, like, Guilmon's one, and it's like, oh, there's no mistaking what this becomes. Like, yeah, 100%.
Well, I mean, I immediately think Nyaramon to Wanyamon to Gaomon.
Yeah.
Like, that's the immediate evolution line I think of with that one.
Gaomon, right?
Gaomon.
Yeah, alright, yeah. Because, like, I feel like Nyaramon's normally more for, like, Gaomon, but it's like, the line for that is so, like, weird and just, like, because it's like Nyaramon into, like, Waimon, into, like, so it's like cat, and then it becomes, like, a dog, I guess? Becomes some kind of beast, and then it becomes, like, a dog, and then it becomes a cat, then angel woman, and then dragon.
I think the idea is just that Nyaramon turns into Beast Digimon.
Yeah, makes sense. Or Lucimon if you're playing friggin' Digimon World Next Order. That's the thing, because, like, if you don't meet any other Digivolution requirements, which you can do by blocking off stages, then, like, your in-train Digimon is forced to evolve into some type of rookie. So you can force it to become Lucimon even if you don't have the stat requirements.
Does it just pick one at random, or?
It depends on which form his stat requirements you fill out the most of. But there is an NPC you can recruit that can, like, block off evolution paths. Which is, like, really useful. So it's like, alright, like, guarantee you get Agumon, go into the, like, evolution tree and block off every branch that isn't Agumon. And it'll, like, force them to become Agumon.
Oh, that's useful.
Yeah, it's really neat, but it's also, like, very, like, late game. Fairly late game, I should say, yeah.
I imagine, because it just lets you choose what you want to evolve into.
Yeah, so it's like, it's literally just because, like, the, like, number of evolutions is just, like, so just stupidly huge that it's like, if you could do this, then you would never get 100%. Just straight up. Oh, man. It's like, hey, I want these two specific Digimon to fuse into each other to get, like, I don't know, Gallantmon, Crimson Mode, or whatever. It's like, okay, and I didn't get Gallantmon, I got Chaos Gallantmon. Well, damn.
Come here, cat.
Oh, man. So yeah, there's a whole thing here where it's like Sunamon's like an outcast, but he's also really smart and helpful, and he's like nice to everyone when he like wants to be. Like he makes an attempt and gets brushed off, and that's why he's a dick.
Yeah. Sunamon's nice and everybody else isn't being a jerk to him.
Yeah.
Because he does want to be included.
Kindness is a two-way street sometimes. Well, a lot of the time. Well, it depends.
But, you know who doesn't want to be part of the group? Izumi.
Yeah. Yeah, that's the whole weird thing with this episode.
So that's the thing that, like, I think is stupid. And it's like, Izumi's like, oh, I lived in Italy for most of my life, and I came here to Japan like a year ago, and everyone excluded me from the friend groups or whatever. And we see two examples of people trying to interact with Izumi and her turning them down.
Yeah, because she's like trying to make a comparison between herself and Sunamon, and she has the opposite problem.
Yeah, and I'm like, wait, no, you're the problem here. You're the one who doesn't want to interact with the people trying to interact with you. What does this have to do with Sunamon's problem?
Yeah, apparently Japan's like really xenophobic and stuff, and they have a lot of like, social problems with that. But it's like, yeah, they're like making such an active attempt to like, hang out with her, and she's just like, yeah, no thanks, maybe later. You're like, hey, yeah, you should get this one so we match, and she's like, nah, I don't really want that one.
Yeah.
It's like
Izumi has bad taste because the thing she doesn't want is a little Wormmon keychain.
Yeah, I want a little Wormmon keychain, that'd be rad.
Also, this begs the question, what is Digimon to the normal world of Frontier?
Yeah, good question, actually. Because, like, yeah. Here's why they often tried to do with her in the show. Yeah, I'm not sure I quite understand Izumi at this point either. Like, I know she's French or whatever. Italian, yeah.
I think she's half, but she lived in Italy.
Yeah, she's like from Italy, so she's like a foreigner, but it's like, no, is that just it? She's just like the foreigner quote-unquote fan service character.
I guess.
Or at least as far as they can get with like a 12-year-old. It's like sometimes you're just talking, it's like, wow, when I put it like that, it actually sounds way worse than it actually is.
No, it's pretty bad.
It's pretty rough. Like, it's not really the show, but it's like, yeah, I see what they're doing. Like, they know what they're up to. And it's weird.
Yeah.
Frontier's the real world where Digimon's a franchise. Alright. I guess.
So they're going the Tamers route.
So hear me out, man. Because I know it's supposed to be like, oh, Digimon are based on these things from this card game or whatever. What if instead, and hear me out, what if instead someone went to the digital world and came back, and they're like, oh man, those monsters are great, I should make a game out of those things, and that's why these designs exist? Because it's like they took the like stuff they got from the digital world, remembered it, and were like, okay, yeah, let's like make some mother effing money off of this Wormmon fellow. That's what happened in Yugioh. I mean, yeah, you're not wrong. Effing Pegasus totally just found some Egyptian ruins, saw some like ancient Egyptian gods and mythology and stuff, and was like, yo, this would make a sick card game, and also I'm gonna make toon versions of these things.
I could make a franchise out of this.
I'm gonna make such a goofy Looney Tunes version of the sacred Egyptian monster. Became a millionaire from it, yeah. Man, that's Yu-Gi-Oh gets like so insane the more you think about it, because there are multiple billionaires who like made their entire fortune off of like card games, and it's all the same card game.
Yeah.
Like, isn't there a part in, like, friggin', like, the Battle City arc or whatever, where, like, Kaiba finishes up a fight on, like, a skyscraper, and he's like, oh, I don't need this anymore, and he just clicks a button and it, like, explodes?
I believe it. What was Kaiba's deal? He made, like, the holograms, right?
Yes, I believe so, yeah. It's not off-real. Yu-Gi-Oh! Makes a lot of money in real life. I'm just imagining, like, like back in the day when Kojima was working with Konami, he's like, oh, I need to get to this, like, business meeting, and he just talks to his boss, and he's like, hey, please, I need some, like, I need to get to, like, America, do you have anything that can, like, anyone that can, like, arrange transportation? And the CEO just looks at him, and the CEO of Konami's just like, oh, I got the perfect thing, and he just tosses him a sub keys with, like, the blue ice white dragon head on him. It's just the Kaiban chat. Too bad our world doesn't run children's card games.
I'd be pretty screwed if it did. I'm not very good at Yu-Gi-Oh!
Man, that's why you need all those hand traps. So you can, like, just shut everything down unless they bleed out your hand of resources. Man. Like, the more you think about it, the more Dual Academy makes complete actual sense. Because, yeah, people are making their, like, life's livings off of these things. Of course there would be a school for it. And it's awful.
Okay, I'll be right back.
Man, I just want to just, like, can we just acknowledge that Dual Academy is the worst effing Yu-Gi-Oh! School ever? In their universe, it makes sense. Yeah, it's like people are just running around with their, like, just one archetype deck where they're just committed to the one archetype and nothing else. And, like, one day, like, someone just walks up and they're like, oh, hey, nice, like, card you got there, but have you heard of polymerization? And everyone's like, what?
Alright, I'm back.
I think Cyrus loses a match because he doesn't read what Power Bond actually does.
Way to go.
He, like, uses Power Bond and then dies. And that gives him a crippling fear of Power Bond.
Who's Cyrus again?
He's, like, the guy with all the, like, vehicles, blue-hair kid. Blue-haired kid with glasses, little, like, sidekick, yeah.
Okay, yeah.
Oh, man, I don't know if we ever want to, like, start Yu-Gi-Oh! Because holy crap, that's so much. But I know that might be an idea one day.
I'm not nearly as invested in the Yu-Gi-Oh! Anime as I am in Digimon.
Yeah, that's fair. So I think his new is because his name was become Pro Duels Thanks Millions apparently after Dual Kami. What a lucky guy. Oh yeah, 100%. Yeah, Zane's like the one character in the show who actually has like a meta, like competitive feeling deck, and it's wild. Like, he's the one guy who runs like just high-ranking monsters that can be summoned efficiently and fuse into really powerful things. I'm Yu-Gi-Oh! Guy, so if you ever do, lol.
I think I remember an episode where he was forced to use like really low level monsters in a duel, so he had to use like the Ojama stuff.
That's not Zane, that's Chad.
Wait,
or Chaz.
Who's Zane?
Zane's the guy with the cyber dragons. Yeah, he's like the Cyrus's brother, the like blue-haired older guy.
Oh.
Yeah, the season 1 final boss.
I really don't remember these characters.
All you need to know about Zane is cyber dragons, and he becomes evil and also lame.
Uh,
Meanwhile, Jaden's busy just dueling a man in an effing, like, tube, trying to revive his youth with card games. And he's, like, using a little robot arm for, like, his dual disc.
sick.
Like, he fights him, and then I think he goes off to fight a freaking gorilla. Dude, like, you know what? Screw the original series. If we want to, like, check something out, we should just watch GX. Because GX is, like, nothing but just dumb, crazy, like, duelist of the week nonsense. And the plot happens for, like, 5 episodes, and it's wild. Dude, there's just a dude whose entire gimmick is that, like, he's, like, a fake, like, supernatural ghost duelist. So it's like he just shows up in this crazy trench coat with, like, a mask and everything, yo, and he's just got a briefcase with a built-in fog machine. So it can make the duel all scary as he, like, threatens to steal your soul if he wins the game. Show a dueling monkey, yeah. And don't forget the, like, friggin' tennis-themed deck. the freaking tennis duel. God. There's... You know what, I don't know, maybe we should watch original Yu-Gi-Oh! 2 at some point, because I'm just remembering there are just scenes where, like, Kaiba throws a card at someone, and the card, like, lodges its way inside their gun, like, in between, like, the actual gun and, like, the hammer, and, like, stops it from firing. Just totally... Like, Kaiba was born to be a meme, and he just gets crazier as it goes.
I mean, when you have so much money, of course you go crazy.
But yeah, Digimon, there's...
Yeah, we still got this,
yeah.
and then the Ghost Game episode, so we gotta...
Tulsa, the Yu-Gi-Oh! Show Go Rush this episode with Alien Dogman that had a buy that references Fist of the North Star. Yeah, that's... Like, all I know about, like, Yu-Gi-Oh! Like, in the modern age is that there's a point in the original series where Kaiba gets, like, a contest ready. And the contest is like, oh yeah, yo, like, send in your applications by mail, yo. The winners will get a chance to, like, send me their decks. And then I'll put it on a satellite and launch it into space. Because if there is extraterrestrial life out there, we might as well teach them how to duel. And it's legit.
Kaiba's just Elon Musk of the Yu-Gi-Oh! World.
The craziest part is he's literally right and it actually works. Because in, like, Zexal or something, the big plot is about, like, aliens who find the satellite, and they learn about duel monsters, and they show up at Earth to, like, duel humanity.
Wait, he literally finds the deck from the earlier season.
Yes.
Holy crap.
Like, I don't know if it's actually confirmed, but it's the implication, like, directly. Because why else would they have dual monsters?
Yeah, I don't know. Considering they're all Egyptian god, or not Egyptian god based, but like Egyptian
magic, yeah.
Oh wait, because the aliens built the pyramids.
If that's the actual explanation, then that's amazing.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm just guessing.
Man, I don't know, man. I just know that Yu-Gi-Oh! Just makes me happy. It gives me joy knowing how dumb it is. Zexal's very loosely tied. After 5D, they stopped referencing each other. That's the one with, like, the card games on motorcycles.
Yeah.
And boy, I still don't know how they avoid traffic accidents like that. You'd think it'd be very easy to be like winning a game and then like your motorcycle just like runs into something and you just drop your hand of cards on the ground. Man, I know 5D is the apparently like the big bad is named Jack or whatever, and he's the quote unquote master of faster.
That's stupid.
It's so dumb. Oh man, he has a cool deck though. Friggin' like Red Dragon Archfiend is pretty sick. It's pretty cool. But yeah, so Digimon, so like, yeah, the river starts, like, it starts raining, and Suomon's like, oh yeah, the last time this happened, there was a flood, so, don't worry about it, man, it's fine.
There was a flood, and then it washed away the entire school.
There's a flood, and then the heroes stopped it. Yeah, this episode has, like, nothing going on, and at least the Yu-Gi-Oh! Conversation added content.
Yeah.
Because, like, holy crap.
I like the climax of this episode.
Yeah, it's like, honestly, it's like, it's not like a big fight or anything, but, you know, sometimes it's nice just to have an episode where it's like, oh yeah, you know, no, the kids are in danger and we gotta, like, save those kids from a natural disaster. Gotta, like, run in and save, like, friggin', like, Koromon from a fire or something, you know? It's like, yeah, that's fine. I'm fine with that. You know? And after I tell it feels kind of, like, refreshing, you know? Just be like, yeah, there's no, like, evil Digimon. It's just, like, it's just a flood, and we just gotta stop this, like, this natural threat from just killing a bunch of kids.
Yep. So
yeah.
they're just like, oh man, we have to fly back to the school because the river's too like high, and so they go back and they put Sudomon on the roof and like, all right, we'll use the rock that they used as a goal to stop the water, and so they.
Oh yeah, also Junpei's scared of lightning, but he gets over it when he evolves, and that, like, gives Gabumon the courage to help out.
Yeah, he's like, wow, he was so afraid of the thunder, but now he's like pretending it isn't even. He's like acting like it isn't even there, and like Junpei grabs a big rock and he puts it in front of the water so it diverts it in two directions, and then Fairymon blasts it with wind from both sides to push it further. And because they're both occupied, they can't save the Digimon that falls off of the roof into the water.
Oh no, is the kid going to die, or will, oh my god, Sunomon's doing the thing?
Yeah, Sunomon evolves into Gabumon after they plead with him to, like, save the kid. And I like how he does it, because it's so weird at first.
It's like, have you ever seen the clip of Godzilla just, like, shooting his atomic beam in, like, a little fire, and he just lets him fly off? Yeah. It's basically that, but against the rock.
Yeah, he runs over to the rock and uses Petite Fire to, like, give himself a boost backwards, and, like, he flings himself off into the river and, like, destroys a log headed towards him with his horn.
Yeah, I should mention, that's like a giant log, too. That thing's, like, massive.
Yeah, Gabumon trashes that log.
Jeez, rookies are, like, nuts.
And then after he saves the baby Digimon, everyone's like, oh, he's so cool.
Man, maybe we should stop gaslighting him now.
Yeah, maybe we should stop picking on the coolest guy in our group.
Yeah, maybe we should, like... Yeah, I do like, there's just a dumb little thing where it's like, alright, so... Because there's a weird little moment where they're like, Togemon's going to go help because of course. And, you know, Blum's like, no, don't, you'll get swept in too. And then Gabumon just does it anyways. And it's like, no, could Togemon have done that? Maybe?
Yes. I'm certain that Togemon would float in the water.
So they would be swept away.
No, they'd be fine.
Yeah, because there's the whole, like, current. Crap, maybe Togemon won't be fine then, holy crap.
Nah, Togemon would be fine.
Togemon would be fine, she'd just be like 1,000 miles away.
It is weird that it's like, no, Togemon, you can't. Go, Rookie, save the baby Digimon.
Yeah, it's fine, Gabumon's smarter than everyone. You need to have a really high IQ to appreciate Gabumon.
Gabumon's pretty cool.
Well, revelation, maybe we should be nice to a guy who's always nice. Don't judge a book by the cover. Children show lessons and everyone claps. Yeah. Except they don't have arms, so they can't.
Yeah.
Instead of clapping, everyone just, like, nods awkwardly.
Yaramon beat you with his tail.
Yeah. They'll have to, like, find a way to work together to make a clapping noise, and they only kind of do it, but it's adorable, so everyone forgives them.
But yeah, that's, they give them, like, a sailboat.
Except for grass.
Yeah, except it works on grass. In digital world, fine.
Yeah.
And, yeah, they're sailing off, and it's like, oh, what's that in the distance? It's the rest of the party parachuting down from the airplane.
Wow, how convenient.
Yeah, and now the group's back together, and Koji's probably going to stick with them now?
Probably. Like, it seems like it'd be weird for him to run off again, but I could see him doing it. I'm not gonna put it past him.
I think he stays with the group now.
I wouldn't be surprised if he pulled a mat. Like, at this point, yeah, I can see it, yeah.